It's February, and you know what that means? It's the season of love. Or, more like the season of having love shoved in your face and being expected to pay for it. You'll be glad to know that only a maximum of one of those things is going to happen in this video. Today we're building a quaint English cottage, perfect for any couple of sims out for a romantic getaway, or even for a solo sim looking to relax in the British countryside. My original inspiration for this was a cottage which looked like it was set at the bottom of a hill, and it had a small curved brick wall just outside the front door. I tried to recreate that with a curved fence, and I was going to use that as the front garden area. However, I couldn't seem to get rid of the flooring, and I just wanted to use terrain paint, so I ended up changing it a bit later on. My vision for the perfect romantic outdoor space includes a small pond area that would create a serene and calming atmosphere. I imagine the pond being surrounded by wildlife like dragonflies and fireflies, complete with a cosy bench situated nearby for people to sit and admire the tranquil water. I wanted this house to have a cottage-like feel, but not in an old-fashioned way with exposed beams and things. Rather, I wanted it to resemble the one I grew up in as a child, which was, coincidentally, also the same one my granddad was born in. It was nothing but a shell, but when it came back into the family, it was nothing but a shell, so I have no idea what it looked like in its prime. All I know is that back then the toilet was outside, and I'm grateful that's something we've left firmly in the past. The house may be small, but I intentionally designed it to feel cozy and intimate, with a peaceful and relaxing atmosphere, making it a perfect place to retreat from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. Moving on to the bathroom now, I dabbled with the idea of a freestanding bathtub. It feels sort of elegant and romantic, but I settled for a shower. Honestly, for only one reason: extra boohoo spot. Took me some time to decide what bedside lights I wanted to use in the bedroom. I knew I wanted the light to be fairly soft, at least in the immediate bed area. Don't worry, I brighten up the rest of the house soon. I decided on these ones, but shrunk them down as they're just a little too overbearing at their full size, for me anyway. If you didn't know how to do that, you can use the square bracket keys on the PC to change the sizes of most objects. I did the same with the bedside tables, and I loved the style, but again, I much prefer them a little smaller. I loved adding the ivy and wisteria on the outside of the house, just really driving home that this house is deep in the countryside, very secluded, and nature is trying to claim it back. I did have problems with it clipping, so you'll see me later on trying to move it around a bit, because you can see it on the inside of the bedroom. It doesn't look too bad in the end, but there's still a couple of bits, but we'll just have to pretend they aren't there. As you can see, I've now leaned pretty heavily into the green colour scheme. Please don't tell me I'm the only one that loves to match colour. Usually I'll tend to do rooms in different colours, but they will have themes of their own. But for this build, I really loved how the green mirrored the environment outside, and it just really feels like such a farmhouse cottage colour. I really enjoyed just looking through the catalogue. I find it's really great when you can narrow items down by colour, because you see things that you may not have realised were there, or had just completely forgotten about. So you may see some random jumping around at times. It's where I've just found an item through scrolling and I know I want to use it somewhere, and I get distracted and end up carrying on with that room. I wanted to add a cosy snug area to the bedroom with a TV that you could both watch from the sofa and also the bed if you were so inclined. I hope it works. I forgot to playtest that bit. Unfortunately, while I was decorating the bathroom, one of my children needed a top-up of their bedtime drink, and I forgot to start the recording when I got back. So we ended up skipping ahead to when it was almost finished. But as you can see, we're still very much sticking with the green theme. I wanted to add some shelves above the window to be able to add some extra clutter. It was really important to me to have a fireplace in the living room, and I was originally going to have it in the side room off the main building. But I felt that it may be better to keep the kitchen separate and then have the living room and dining room together. I love the green swatch for the kitchen cabinets, and funnily enough, the kitchen I grew up in also had green counters, although I'll admit I was not such a fan of those. I originally had planned to add a lot of shelving storage in here to clutter it up a bit, and it did double nicely as a way to hide the top of the blinds. But I ended up cutting back on the shelving quite considerably actually, and just because I didn't feel like I had enough unique clutter to put in there, and I would have just been basically putting plates everywhere. So I ended up putting extra wall decorations instead of the shelving above around the window. I also shrunk the blinds down because at their full size they basically cover the entire window, which isn't really what I wanted. It would be nice if it covered up the entire width of the window frame, but I much rather it do that than cover up the entire window. Jumping back outside, I wanted it to have some formal garden spaces as well as some more wild looking plant spaces. I don't rate my skills as a landscaper, but I just tend to grab plants that look pretty and throw them around, which I think maybe works for wildflowers. I don't know, you'll have to let me know. I really tried to fit the wishing well into the build. It's not an item I've used before. I haven't had the romantic garden stuff pack for that long. In the end, I left it out and prioritised the hot tub, another woohoo spot, and the large patio area. The only general rule I tend to follow for plant landscaping is for the most part to have the taller plants at the back and the short ones at the front, for no reason other than that makes it easier to see them all. I also think that no romantic garden space is complete without the cherry blossom tree and a place to sit beneath it. So there you have it, my take on a quaint romantic cottage build. I hope you enjoy watching. I had a lot of fun building this actually. It's not the kind of style I normally build in, and I don't usually spend so much time on the decorations and clutter, but I think it paid off in the end. If you'd like to download this build, I have added it to my gallery page on The Sims. Just search my user ID, playcozy00. It's called Cordelia's Secret Getaway. I wish you all a wonderful week and stay cozy.